Hello everyone and welcome to Modern Survivalist. Today I will be covering a somewhat obscure yet interesting alternative investment opportunity, peer-to-peer lending, or more simply put, P2P lending. This type of investment allows you to loan real people money just like a bank does. There are many factors about P2P lending that you should be aware of though. In this video, I will be covering the basics you should know, some simple strategies, and some of the P2P platforms available to you. Alright, so now that we have the introductions out of the way, let's go ahead and get started lending people some money in Modern Survivalist's P2P Lending Basics. First off, let's just simply define what P2P lending is. It all starts with someone needing a loan. Let's say a person asks for a loan from one of these P2P lending companies. Their loan in turn will be offered to all of the individual investors on that company's platform to invest in. You, as an investor, are then given all the crucial information about each individual borrower: age, credit rating, credit history, delinquencies, and so on. This is the crucial information you will use to make a decision on whether or not to invest in this particular person and how much. Obviously, the borrower's credit rating and history are the main forms of judging risk and reward with P2P investing. However, there are other factors you should be aware of as well. Remember, you're investing in an individual person here, so there's a real risk of a borrower dying or declaring bankruptcy, and in turn, you not getting paid any of your investment back. While this might scare a lot of you out there, you should know that average historical gains on these platforms are all adjusted for these occurrences, and they still remained profitable in most cases. If you're still skeptical, check out my supporting research in the comments below. They will overwhelmingly confirm these claims. Moving on now to getting paid. Every month you are paid back a portion of the loan plus interest. This means your money is very fluid on these platforms, since every month not only are you getting paid interest on the loan, but you're also getting a portion of your initial investment back with every payment. That money can in turn be reinvested if you please, or withdrawn. It's all up to you at that point. So now let's go ahead and cover the platforms you have available to you as a P2P investment beginner: Lending Club and Prosper. The only prerequisites with these platforms are the initial deposits. For Lending Club, you need $1,000, and for Prosper, all you need is $25 to get started. With both of these P2P platforms, there is a handy automatic investment option that allows you to diversify your investments based on individual borrower risk levels. You just set what percentage of your total portfolio you would like to devote to a particular risk level, and you're done. It's basically a set it and forget it option meant for people who want to be completely hands-off with their investing. I personally have an account with Prosper and have first-hand experience with these kinds of investments. So far, everything is going relatively smooth, with only a single borrower being late with payments. Even with this borrower being late, I still net very solid gains, over 10% annually. Ultimately, though, you have to be realistic and expect that some people are not going to pay. The overall percentages are so high, though, even with this happening, the overall outlook is still net positive. In any event, you should still use a lot of scrutiny when deciding on who to invest in. I personally like to pick borrowers with relatively recent first lines of credit, within the last 10 years. These people are most likely younger borrowers who should be less risky in terms of health problems and death. Obviously, delinquencies and income are a good indicator on whether or not a person is going to pay you, so always keep that in mind as well. I also prefer borrowers who are at about the 10 to 12% yield range. I found that these people pose less of a risk and offer a more than adequate return. These people are also most likely working and liberal with their spending, since they have a credit rating that is not perfect but also reflective of their solid payment history. Another group I'm partial to are office workers. Their environment is not very hazardous and therefore health issues would be less of a factor here. As far as personal preferences for automatic investing, like I said previously, I strongly favor the middle-of-the-road 10% area here. I like to put the bulk of my investments here and fan out a little in the neighboring risk levels just for stability. I also like keeping a reserve of about 5 to 10% just in case I find a borrower I'm particularly fond of and would rather make the investment myself. That pretty much does it in terms of the basics and my own personal investment strategies. I think it should give you a good general idea of what to expect. Overall, I'm very fond of peer-to-peer investing. It's a truly passive means of income that you don't have to pay much attention to. With gains on average in the 8 to 10% range for me personally, it's hard to deny its allure and effectiveness. In short, if stocks are not your thing and you just want something very easy that still has a great rate of return, peer-to-peer investing might just be what you're looking for. Also, just one more thing before I go, I just want to make it totally clear that I'm in no way endorsed by any of the featured investment companies in this video. I'm merely sharing some interesting investment opportunities with you, my audience. Alright everyone, that about wraps up this peer-to-peer lending basics video. Make sure you're subscribed right here to Modern Survivalist for all things online earning and modern survival. For your convenience, you can find all of the websites mentioned in today's video linked in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear what you have to say. Also, if you would like to watch more Modern Survivalist videos, you can do so by simply checking out the channel page. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.